Hi guys, welcome back to everybody in the Smelly Army. So today we're going to be having a look at 6 great inexpensive clean smelling fragrances. So yeah, we've just moved into a new flat actually, and we seem to have quite a few seagulls in the area, as you can hear in the background there. So I'm just going to politely discourage them and see if we can quiet them down a bit, and I'll be right back. Hang on. Hello everyone, welcome back to all of you in the Smelly Army. So today we're going to be having a look at my top 6 inexpensive clean fragrances. Before we get into that, don't forget, if you'd like to join up to the Smelly Army private members club over on Patreon, there's a link in the description down below. It costs you just $2 a month and you get an extra video from me every week, plus lots of interaction in there with the members. We have over 100 members now, been going for about a year. So if you join today, for example, you can watch all the old videos, 50, 60 odd videos that I've already uploaded in there. I'd love to see you in there. Check out the link in the description. Let's get into the video for today then. We're going to be looking at clean, inexpensive fragrances that are high quality smelling but don't cost a lot of money. What do I mean by a clean fragrance? Because we talk about so many categories in fragrances, and of course just saying it's a clean fragrance doesn't necessarily give you the whole picture, does it guys? So for me, I'm talking about fragrances which are very easy to wear in any situation, perhaps almost give you the feeling of being an anti-fragrance, a fragrance that you wear when you're not in the mood to smell of anything strong, anything musky, anything that comes off too much like you're trying to be sexy or anything like that. Some of these fragrances are aimed at men. I think most of them, not all, but most sort of leaning towards being aimed at men, very much in terms of their smell though, very, very unisex smelling. For me, there are a lot of situations when I just feel like getting up, maybe I'm going to work, these kind of things, where I want to smell of something. I don't want to wear nothing because I'm into fragrances, and I want to smell professional. I want to smell well presented, crisp, clean, maybe soapy, perhaps a little bit interesting at the same time. And that's the kind of fragrance that we're going for here. Of course, in other videos I've done, best work fragrances. That could be a crossover with this category, but there I've got some sort of gentlemanly, old school thing. These ones are very, very, almost leaning towards being somewhat transparent smelling, but hopefully all really interesting. So let's get cracking with it. The first one then, very little talk about this one on YouTube, a house that I'm really a big fan of these days, and that's Guerlain, and the fragrance that I've got here is Eau de Fleur de Cédrat. So this one was first released way back in 1920. The perfumer was Jacques Guerlain, the main perfumer there at Guerlain at the time, and I picked this one up actually on Notino in the UK for just £31 for a 100ml bottle, which I think is a stunning, great value. It's an Eau de Cologne strength, so not the highest concentration. And the notes that I found listed, I had a struggle really to find much note information because all I can really get listed online is bergamot, lemon and citron. The fragrance, as that kind of suggests, of course the name means the eau of citrus flowers, or the smell of citrus flowers, I think. It is a very, very beautiful, crisp, natural smelling citrus fragrance. Lemon, bergamot. I think there's a lot more going on in there. There's probably some cedar wood, maybe even a hint of lavender and some other things. But it doesn't have a particularly old school kind of smell actually, as some of the Guerlain old school things like Eau de Guerlain, which I also really love, even Eau de Cologne Imperial by them, which both could have crept into this list too. But they have a slightly old-fashioned vibe about them. This one just has a wonderfully vibrant, natural smelling citrus feel, extremely pleasant and refreshing if it's a hot day, a summer's day, absolutely superb scent for that, and very much a well-presented, clean kind of vibe. Not a big projector, it's an Eau de Cologne in concentration. I actually find longevity to be okay. It's there, but it's more of a skin scent before too long. Great one to just spray all over yourself before bed, getting out the shower, that kind of thing. I love the bottle design, and Guerlain, a very, very classy house. So decent or okay kind of longevity for me. Sometimes if you're ever worrying about that, maybe if you've sprayed it on the back of your hand and a few hours later, if you just do that and sort of blow some hot air on it, it revives it and reassures you maybe that it's there. Other people are getting it. You're giving a good impression without getting on anyone's nerves. Guerlain, absolute quality house. Going to be great quality ingredients in that one.
Next time you feel like staying home but don't feel like going near the kitchen, remember the Tiki Port Chinese Polynesian restaurant at Hyannis will prepare your favorite Chinese food and have it ready for you in 20 minutes with pork strips, spare ribs, egg rolls, fried shrimp, chicken wings, teriyaki beef, and shrimp chips. Next time you get the urge for some of Cape Cod's most irresistible Chinese food, dial 771-5220 and your feast will be ready in about the time it'll take you to drive to the Tiki Port, Route 132 Hyannis, opposite the Cape Cod Mall.
Next one then, and you've never heard this one mentioned on my channel either, of course a much talked about one, mainly maybe going back a bit in the fragrance community, Nautica Voyage, a real classic cheapie. This one was first released back in, when was it, 2006, perfumer Maurice Roussel, who also gave us Musc Ravageur and many other very high priced and very renowned fragrances. He did Bogart, Pour Homme as well, another cheapie that I really like, not such a clean smell. So a really, really great perfumer in my humble opinion. And with Nautica Voyage back in 2006, he gave us a very, very appealing, aquatic, fresh kind of fragrance. The blue colour of the liquid gives you an idea of the kind of vibe this one gives off. If you like things maybe like Versace Pour Homme or Chanel's Allure Homme Sport, this may appeal to you. The notes on this one are green leaves, apple and mimosa, lotus, amber, musk, oak moss and cedar. Very, very soapy, very clean out of the shower smell. Some people say it reminds them a bit of cucumber or freshly sliced cucumber. I can kind of see what they mean. Some people don't like that note. I think it's a very, very lovely, bright, sort of maybe synthetic, maybe shower gel smelling, but there's just something very, very appealing, almost impossible not to like it. And I think, you know, of course, the brand Nautica Voyage, it has this kind of seafaring, aquatic vibe about it. And just when you can't really be bothered to look through your collection, you want to spray on something that makes you smell good, gives a little waft of this pleasing clean air. This 2006 release is great stuff. I know people talk about the different reformulations that may have happened. There's a metallic lid that used to be the one and now it's plastic. Don't know about that. I've got a modern one with the plastic lid. Performance okay for me. I don't expect it to be very, very strong. You can spray a hell of a lot. Superb stuff. Chuck it in your gym bag, chuck it in your car if you go to work, reapply where you can. Still a great fragrance. I picked it up, I think, about £16 or something. I think that was All Beauty where I got that one in the UK. So really, really good stuff. Nautica Voyage, when you just want to smell clean, fresh and presentable. Aimed at men, I'm pretty sure, but women could easily wear it too. Next up then, I'm going to go with one that less people than will have heard of than Nautica Voyage. This is by a brand called Extro, and the fragrance is called Del Don. This is an Italian-based brand who make mainly kind of aftershave, shaving type products, so the creams and that kind of thing as well, shaving soaps, you know, as well as these, they call them aftershave and eau de toilette. So I think the strength is eau de toilette, but they're in a splash bottle and guess really designed to be used as a splash aftershave therefore. Lovely picture of a man stroking his razor there. And the fragrance is absolutely classic and quite unique and different. They have a whole range actually. I got this at executiveshaving.co.uk. I will link them in this description. I'm not sort of tied in or collaborating with them, but it's a really good site where they have a lot of this kind of stuff and you know, some really inexpensive, manly, fresh kind of smells that you can get there. This one, a ridiculous price of £12 for 125ml. Performance is actually quite good, I think, for this one, which surprises me with such a low price. It's quite unique actually in the smell. I'll give you the note listing. It's petitgrain basil, lily of the valley, lavender, sage, thyme, cassis, amber, patchouli, gaiac wood. This one has a very unique kind of smell. It reminds me a little bit actually of an Acqua di Parma Blue Mediterraneo one, which is, which one is it? Myrto di Pannaria. It's got that real kind of herbaceous vibe actually about this one, and a very kind of crisp, green, aromatic, maybe a hint of the kind of menthol thing that they often put in aftershaves, which not everyone may care for, but it's just unique. It's green, aromatic, not mega citrusy, but it does have a definite soapy vibe and a real classy kind of gentlemanly aura. Something, just a slight reminiscence for me of Green Irish Tweed actually from Creed. Just really, really soapy, really clean, and a sort of greenness and a lovely, unique kind of freshness. The whole range from these guys are really good. Fra Rinnick, another one that I almost could have put in this video, is one that's got maybe a bit more of a barbershop, Turkish barber citrus vibe about it. You can also pick that one up, I think the same price, if it's in stock, at Executive Shaving in the UK. If you're elsewhere in the world, I think that the company do have a direct website in Italy where you can order the fragrance. Not sure how easy it is for them to ship across the pond to the USA, but hopefully you can track it down wherever you are in the world. Okay, next up then, we're going to do Mugler Cologne. Okay, well this one is a real no-brainer. It was designed by Thierry Mugler, or conceived by him at least. He's not the perfumer. The perfumer, in fact, I think is Alberto Marias, the famous Alberto Marias, the man behind Office for Men by Jeremy Fragrance, Acqua di Gio, and many other great fragrances. In the case of this one, it was designed to recreate the smell of a soap that Thierry Mugler remembered from a childhood holiday in Morocco, I believe. It's a very grassy, soapy, delightful, easy to wear fragrance for men or for women. I think the range has now been relaunched, and we've now got different Mugler Cologne varieties that they launched a couple of years back. This one's still at the heart of that range. I think it's now called Mugler Cologne Come Together. And again, you can still pick either one up for quite good prices now, but I think if you're after the original Mugler Cologne, that might be a little bit cheaper than the relaunched one. But I've found you can still find this pretty easily on websites at the moment, the old version where it's just Mugler Cologne. So the price around about 30 something, £37 I found it for 100 ml. So it's gone up a little bit. It used to be only 30, but still good value. Notes on this one: bergamot, neroli, petitgrain, orange flower, musk. It's lovely, actually very similar to Creed's original vetiver, so I think there is a bit of a grassy vetiver note in here as well. Just superb kind of creamy vetiver, grassiness, beautiful bar of soap basically that lasts on your skin longer than the smell of your soap. Although it's not a massive performer, it's acceptable to me. Spray heavy, spray on your clothes. Mugler Cologne, that great kind of fragrance for when I just want to smell a bit clean. I'm rushing out the door, I'm off to wherever. It's a daytime kind of thing, but I don't fancy wearing anything strong. But I want it, if anyone leans in, gives me a hug, a kiss, shakes hands with me, I want them to just think, he smells well presented. Mugler Cologne achieves that. I think Jeremy Fragrance did a video once. He was at some big fragrance event, and he said, when you are at this kind of event, you don't want to smell of anything strong, you're going to be smelling other things, but I just douse myself in Mugler Cologne. You can't spray too much. So, recommended by the high priest of fragrances himself, Jeremy. A couple more left then. We're going to go with an obscure one again now, and this is Animal Sports from, I guess, the house of Animal. There's an original Animal fragrance, and then I think there was one called Animal. They're very different. They smell a bit like Mugler, Amen. Different story altogether. Animal Sport, some people compare it to Creed's Jardin d'Amalfi, which is a very expensive fragrance indeed. There is a passing similarity. I wouldn't say if you're looking for a clone of that, this will necessarily satisfy you. But it's a very nice fragrance nevertheless. It was first released back in 2014. I found it in the UK on eBay for £26 for 100 ml. Superb value. Bergamot, pear, marine accord, blonde woods, vetiver, musk and amber. It's got a lovely, I think one website also listed peach as a note. It's pear or peach. I think that was meant to say peach there. I think I misread my own handwriting. Lovely kind of fruity, fresh vibe, a bit like Jardin d'Amalfi, very kind of citrusy, bit of almost some juicy, fruity kind of citrus combination with fruity smells as well as the obvious bergamot type of thing that's in everything else. So a bit playful, bit fun, kind of modern smelling. Not massive in projection, but lasts okay. Superb. I sometimes wear it to the gym actually when I'm working out. Possibly an annoying thing to other gym goers, but certainly after the gym, superb one to just throw on. Love the bottle design, and yes, sporty, fresh, clean, bright, this kind of peachy fruitiness. If you want to kid yourself that you smell a bit like Jardin d'Amalfi for an absolute fraction of the price, this will do the job, and it's great for a man or a woman. Actually really puts a smile on my face, Animal Sport, whenever I wear it. Last but not least, quick mention for, I think this is the only out and out clone in the video, although the company don't market it as such. It's called Neroli Forte, and as far as I can tell, I believe this is by Pocket Sense. I will put a link to them in the description. I think you can only get their stuff in the UK. They also do quite a lot of other ones that I'm quite fond of. This one, I think it's £14.99 for a 50ml. Very similar to Neroli Portofino Forte from Tom Ford, stroke the normal Neroli Portofino. It's an eau de parfum, so strong concentration. And if you've ever smelt that, you'll know how it smells. Again, a very soapy, bright kind of smell, very similar to 4711, the extremely inexpensive cologne that you can buy. But this one, as does the Tom Ford, certainly the Neroli Portofino Forte, lasts a bit longer, maybe a little bit more of a woody depth than the original Neroli Portofino, but there's not a huge amount in it. The main thing is you get that lovely kind of soapy orange flower, orange blossom thing. Some people compare it to Savlon antiseptic cream, and there's a hint of that, but it's all about clean, fresh, presentable. If you were a dentist or a doctor or something like that, you just wanted to smell kind of an accentuated version of cleanness, or something that would just smell really, really vitalizing and invigorating on a hot summer's day. This Neroli Forte, for the money, superb, because who wants to really spend hundreds and hundreds on that kind of thing from Tom Ford? Maybe the ingredients that much better quality, more expensive. This does a great job. By the way, not suitable for this list, their version of Creed's Bois de Portugal, one of my all-time favourites. Well, they don't market it as such, but it smells very similar. Lisboa, I think that's slightly more expensive at around $34.99 for a 50ml. There's a different upscale range over there at Pocket Sense. I do highly recommend that as a great alternative to Creed's Bois de Portugal. But for smelling clean, Neroli Forte from Pocket Sense is a definite must try for me. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out the Patreon group, the Private Members Club. I'm off to Milan for the Xsense thing in April. Just booked my tickets, so quite excited about that. More to come on that. And my own fragrance almost ready to ship, thank goodness. Apologies for anyone who's ordered and is frustrated by the long wait. Thank you ever so much for watching. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Smelly.